Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening. I'm from Group 1, and in this opportunity, we will present to you about final project sustainability. Our group is Raffi Ahmad Raza, Belia Citra Ramadhani, Wayu Sri Handayani, and me, Nadia Skaputri. In this case, we will tell you about the mixing chemical reaction for the bottle and cans. And this statement of the problem. Emergent properties for the case. First, product and ingredient, mixing process, filling process, clearing process, and inventory. After that, counterintuitive outcome. Counter overproduction compared to the quantity ordered. 500 of all batch mix fail in the test. Then the additional ingredient added to the batch mix should meet the specification, and it will affect the amount of the product which were larger than the quantity ordered. This element of structure. First is chemical product. First, chemical warehouse, mixing operator, technician, filling machine, and endless containers. After that, we will present by Belia.
Okay, thank you Nadia for the opportunity. And here I will explain about the element of process. The first element of process itself is the sequence or the flow of the process itself to create such product. And in this case, the element of process are contained of three. They are mixing, measuring, and filling. And then the stakeholder. Stakeholder is built by the four elements. The first is the problem owner. Problem owner is the people who have control upon the trade-off. And in this case, the problem owner is the technician. And the second is problem user. Problem user is the people who will use the solution. And in this case, the problem user is the mixing operator. And the third is the problem customer. Problem customer is the people or element that will be impacted by the problem or the solution. And in this case, the problem customer is the filling department. And last is problem solver. Problem solver is the people who will give solution to fix the problem. And in this case, is the company hire an analyst. And this is the hierarchy of the system. Hierarchy of the system is consists of three. The first is the narrow system, wider system, and environment. The narrow system is the problem that appear on it. And in this case, the problem appear on the production department. And for the wider system, this is the wider area of the problem. And this is in chemical company. And the environment itself is for customer. Next is the sixth problem element. This contains of decision maker. Decision maker is the people who will decide over the problem or solution. And in this case, the decision maker is the technician. And objective is what is the purpose from the decision maker. Okay. And the objective is for minimizing production cost by optimizing production per batch. And for performance measurement, this is the parameters. With success or not is depend on what? And this is depend on the total production cost per batch. And for the criterion itself is almost like the objective. It's the objective for minimizing cost. So the criterion is minimizing cost. And alternative action is total production per batch, and contact is like the narrow system. So this is appear on production department. And the next will be explained by Raffi Ahmad.
Okay, my name is Raffi Ahmad Raza. My student ID is 102130002, and I'll explain you about the rich picture of this case. The rich picture itself is a picture that shows you about the case in general. So as we can see in here, there are the basic ingredients that consist of several ingredients or several material that will be mixing in one place. And in this place, after the mixing process, it will do the test. And after it's successful, it will came into the filling process that you can see. There are five type of the filling can that can be filled. 100, 500, 1000, 4000, and 10,000. And after the all can is filled by the chemical, it's stored in the storage room or the warehouse. What is the main case or the main purpose of this analysis? First, we can see here the trade-off is when the variation is more, the setup will be decreased and the inventory will be decreased, but the cost will be higher. In the other side, if the variation of the product is low, the setup will lower, the inventory will go higher, and the cost will cheaper. So this is the relevant system of our case. As you can see, the relevant system that we use is the input-output diagram. So in the left side of the input-output diagram, this is the input of the that can be calculated, or that can be calculated, and then from the upper side is the input that cannot be calculated. This is the controllable input. This is the uncontrollable input in other terms. And the below is the that we call the process, or that's usually symbolized as the circle. And then the right side is the output. So from the relevant system, we can make the influence diagram, and our influence diagram is a little bit simpler than the others group. We just generate the influence diagram by this picture. First, the ingredients is the controllable input. The demand, inventory cost, setup cost, and overhead cost will be the uncontrollable input. The total production level, total inventory cost, total setup cost, total overhead cost will be the process itself, or the component of the elements. And the last is minimum total cost is our objective value. And after this, the cost factor will be explained by Wahyu.
Okay, I will explain about the cost factor. In here there are several sections that influence the system. For the first one is ingredient cost, which is relevant to the system, and for the second one is preparation for the mixing and cleaning process, which is also relevant to the system. And the third one is power or electricity used in the production, and can label the estimate the number of label. And then after that there are operator's salary per hour, and after that there are picking labor's salary also per hour, and then the lab technician salary is weekly salary, and then after that inventory maintenance in monthly, and annual rent premises, and also annual plant area maintenance. And after that, there are mathematical model formulation for AOQ. In AOQ, there are element of cost that is relevant to the system. For the first one is new line. It means that the cost that need to make new line. And for the second one is ingredient. It's cost for the ingredient to make the product. And after that, there are cleaning cost. And after that, power or electricity cost, and cost for the carton to package the product. And after that, the number, the label, which is affected by the number of the product. And after that, for the mixing operator cost. And after that, packer salary for the worker, and technician salary, and also clerks and floor space rent. And this is for the calculation to find the Q. The formula is square root of 2 multiplied by D multiplied by S and divided by V and multiplied by R. And this is the key in here is 145. Now, after that, we calculate the annual number of stock replenishment, which the formula is D per Q, And this is for the result. And after that, annual setup cost of replenishment D per Q point multiplied by S, and this is the result. And then after that, we also calculate the average stock level in here. And after that, average stock investment and average stock handling cost for the handling cost in producing the product. And after that, value of annual demand. It P multiplied by demand and annual handling cost, and demand multiplied by H in here it means the holding cost such as inventory cost, and this is the calculation cost. And then for the R in here we use 50% for the R itself, and then this is for cost and benefit will be presented by Rafi.
Okay. So for the cost and benefit, we use the method income statement. So after the cost calculation that mentioned before by Wahyu, so this is the data that we get. The revenue itself came from the how many products that we could sell, and then the total cost came from the previous slide. And after that, we got the EBIT or earning before interest and tax. After that, we added the interest, and we get the earning before tax. And then we added the tax, and we get the EAT or earning after tax. Or we can call it as the profit. So the recommendation for the recommendation is, from the cost calculation, we can conclude that the target of 15% of the profit and 30% of tax is fulfilled. So the company have to earning after tax this much. Okay, that's all from us. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.